Hello everyone, my name is Rochelle Innocent and I'm the founder and CEO of Project Purpose. Welcome to our channel. Our community is focused on fostering the intellectual and character development in children. We do this through our parent-child workshops that are focused on 4 themes: autonomy, self-efficacy, compassion, and self-concept, in order to cultivate grit, perseverance, and resilience in each child. And we are so thrilled to be offering one of the first of its kind digital, virtual, and continuous learning environments, enabling parents and children to connect from all around the world. At Project Purpose, our overarching mandate is to renew and rebuild family, community, and relationships. Our different social media platforms provide us with an opportunity to have discussions and to create space on all topics that relate to family, community, and relationships with ourselves as well as with others, with a primary focus on mental health and education. More precisely, the ways that the institutions of mental health and education play a role and have played a role in our societies at large. These discussions and debates provide us with an opportunity to think critically about what needs to change within these structures for us to live up to our bold slogan: support, protect, and empower each child through youth-focused development, better known as leadership in juvenescence. We recognize that in valuing our children's leadership potential, this also translates as recreating and co-creating environments, both socially and politically, that will enable our children to thrive. For those of you who are particularly keen on the topic, we also write thought pieces every other Sunday, and we actually just dropped a thought piece this past Sunday. So be sure to meander over to the website and check out our online content. Now, if it is the case that you are looking for a listening alternative, well, we're available on 12 different podcast platforms for your listening leisure, and we've provided you with access to the links in the description down below. Now, as is the convention, be sure to subscribe, hit that post notification bell so that you are aware of every time we post. And of course, if you like our conversations and you want to keep them going, like, comment, and share this segment. Let's get into it. Allô les meufs et les mecs. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another segment here on Project Purpose. For those of you who are new, we cover topics that relate to mental health, mental wellness, and education on a week-by-week basis. And today our topic of discussion is education. And on the topic of education, given the time of the year, we're going to be talking about prioritization. And a lot of us do get lost in translation when it comes to recognizing how to compartmentalize priorities, and not just our own priorities and getting a sense of where our energy belongs, but also the priorities of people around us, some of which we want to satisfy and others, to be determined. And I think that sometimes we take a long time. It can be a fairly extensive journey to get a sense as to what translates as whose priority, and we take on everyone's priorities as our own. So I'm here to give you my fundamentals in prioritization. I find that I'm a pretty efficient prioritizer, and that's because I'm honest with myself and with the people around me around what my actual priorities are. And I think that sometimes, if it is the case that you want to satisfy everyone's needs, then you try to prioritize everyone's needs equally, but that will quickly translate in a disastrous way, because there simply is just not enough time in a day to cater to everyone's needs as well as your own. So you need to just be direct, open, and honest about your priorities. So typically when I am prioritizing, especially around this time of the year, I give myself 3 layers of questioning when it comes to what my priorities are and what my priorities ought to be. So the first step is a very direct, simple question: do you care, right? And this is something that not a lot of people ask themselves, actually. And I think that a lot of people just assume that if someone's putting something on their plate that they have to care about it. I am not that person. If you put something on my plate, if you put something on my radar, trust and believe the first question that I'm asking myself when I'm receiving this information is, do I care about this information? Without being offensive or insulting, some information truly goes in one ear and out the other because it does not impact my life whatsoever. And I just have too many things that I want to do personally to make a repertoire or to create space, mental, emotional space for things that like actually I don't personally care about. And so when I say care in the way where I want to invest more time or extra time or energy in this specific activity, whether it's in that conversation or whether it's whatever would require any level of investment, right? So do I care is the first question that I ask. And a lot of the times, a lot of information that we get bombarded with, we don't care about it, right? Like maybe it's compelling you to care, but at the root of yourself, if you ask yourself this question, like you're very honest and open and transparent with yourself, you don't care. And if you don't care, you don't need to worry about prioritizing it. If it doesn't contribute to my life in any way or fundamental or otherwise, then it can go, right? So that's a very quick and dirty, fast way of just making sure that you're not inundating yourself with unnecessary tasks or activities or thoughts that really just don't translate in any substantial way for you specifically, because your energy goes and should align with the things that you personally care about. And care obviously can translate in many different contexts. You care about it because it's going to support you in your career. You care about it because it's going to help you achieve personal goals. You care about it because, you know, this is a relationship that you care about. You know, all of those things could be reasons why you do care, but you could choose not to care even if it does translate in one of those specific areas. Like, well, with the way that I see myself going and growing, like this actually is not in scope, is out of scope. It is important to have those conversations with yourself. Now, the second question that I will ask myself, like let's say I decide that I do care. I'm like, you know, I guess I care, or I do care. Or let's say the first question is I don't care, but I don't want to quickly dismiss it. I want to make sure, like despite my initial reaction, my second question to myself is, should I care? And this is an important question because after this second step, if I've decided that I shouldn't care, but should I care? If I feel that there's a part of me that probably should take this into consideration, or this should be something that I at least carve some attention towards, then I will prioritize it. But if I have to ask myself, should I care about this, when I know that like prima facie out of the gate I don't care, the priority already is not going to be high. It's not going to be a high priority, but it will be on the list of priorities for me to consider. But if I ask myself, should I care, and there is no justification as to why I should care about this, I will with so much peace put it away as if I've never even heard about it, right? If I ask myself, should I care, and there's just no reason why I should care about this specific situation or this piece of information or whatever it is that's like in front of me demanding to be prioritized, out of the gate, it is gone, never to return again. And I say this because unless there are some drastic shifts and changes in my life, the moment that I tell myself that like there's no reason for me to care about this, I will not care about it. Like I will not. Like if there's no revisiting the topic, I just don't care. But in cases where it's like, yes, I should care, then it comes to the third question, well, how much should I care? And I think that these are just very important questions because it helps you prioritize things accordingly. And I have time to do the things that I care about because I prioritize every single thing that takes up mental space. My mental energy is very valuable to me. My emotional energy is very valuable to me. My intellectual energy, very, very valuable to me. And my physical energy as well, right? Like I only have so much energy physically in the day to be able to tackle the things that matter to me. So how much time do I have? How charitable am I with my energy when it comes to things that like just don't matter to me? Very little. I am actually not all that charitable about giving my energy away for free or about feeling like my energy is wasted. And that translates as putting your energy in places that just don't align with your priorities, right? And I typically bounce around about 10 priorities like across different facets of my life, like maybe 3 to 4 per like bucket in my life that I'm juggling between, where I'm happy to expend energy in because it's going to build into my sense of personal fulfillment, satisfaction, and meaning. And I think that's where our energy should always go. And again, I told you, I'm not a martyr. I'm not one of those kinds of people who feels good about putting my energy where other people think my energy should go, but I get no personal sense of satisfaction of my energy going there. Like that's just not who I am, which means that if you see me putting my energy somewhere, it means something to me to do it, right? Like I'm not the kind of person who will convince myself to put my energy in places that I personally don't think I should care, and have no justification for putting my energy there. Like if I've not prioritized it, my energy's not going there. And I think that is just a simplified way of making sure that you're aligned energetically with where you want to go personally, with what you feel is important for you personally. And I recognize now that I've interacted with so many different people and so many different walks of life, that this schema of prioritization just isn't widespread. It's not something that everyone does, but it's a skill that will help everyone. And again, this is education that starts at home. It's time management. Time management for me truly is energy management. Time management makes us feel like time is something that is beyond our realm of control. No, you can't control time, but you can control your energy in relation to the time that you have. So this is a super quick segment, but I think it's very informative. And for those of you who are trying to figure out, well, what are you going to do with the time that you have with the people who want to spend time with you this Christmas? Well, think about who you've prioritized. And if someone's not on your priority list, that needs to be okay, right? I mean, better everyone knows the truth now than later. And I think prioritization should not be compromised for social niceties, right? And we can exercise social hygiene in the way that we communicate those. We don't need to burn bridges by any means. But again, alignment is super important to me. And I think alignment, if people felt more convicted and managing their energy in alignment with like what actually brings them joy, a lot of us would be way more happy. So that is it for today, but definitely not all. But before letting you go, I would be remiss if I didn't let you know that we will be going live at least twice a month, every month for the foreseeable future on our Facebook page. So definitely be sure to tune in. Now, these events are paid events. So if you do see yourself participating in our community on an ongoing basis, then I do suggest that you take a look at one of our package plans. Yes, so we do offer package plans over and above our live events, as well as access to webinars and workshops, largely focused on self-mastery over and above those live events. So be part of the change you want to see. Join our game changer community. We are on the road to 1K across all of our platforms. I do invite you to join. I do invite you to follow, and I do invite you to participate, giving us the opportunity to play a small role in your journey. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to chatting with all of you very soon. We'll talk to you later.